Does it all right? It tastes all right.
Tastes like your antidepressants. Hard to eat when you're fucking talking about the trauma of my life, though. You're like, let's have a bite of my...
I kind of wish we got to that earlier.
And then you go... There's a lot to cover.
We're back in the kitchen today at Juju's Cafe and Warm Bar, Burgers with Buster, and today we've got Paul Mamone. He's a comedian from Byron Bay. He's a mental health, he's a counsellor, he's a writer, he's a very funny man, he's a very good friend of mine, and I thought, why not a better bloke to talk to about mental health? He's actually a counsellor and a comedian, and he's a bit of a fruitcake. So let's get him on. Welcome, Paul. He's just about to come in my back door.
Where's the round of applause, mate?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Thanks for having me, mate. Good to be here.
Have a
Thank
seat.
you.
You found Warm Bar all right?
Yeah, it was good. You finally turned your lounge room into a kitchen.
Well, yeah, it's actually a mate's cafe from Warm Bar. He's lent it to us, but the thing is, he doesn't know we're here. I do a bit of plumbing, so I've got a key. Right. So yeah, this is how we're actually here with him. But mate, how you been?
Good, mate. Yeah, working, trying to survive a post 2-year pandemic and 2 floods and getting life back on track and work.
Yeah, well, and in your line of work, you work with the NDIS.
I work with the NDIS as a counsellor and support coordinator. So,
so do you counsel yourself a lot, though?
You counsel me, mate, on Facebook chat. Every time I'm having a meltdown, I'm like, Buster, I need a hamburger, mate. Come shove it in my mouth.
Well, we drove to Caboolture the other night, and you bombed twice.
I did not bomb, mate. Comedy's subjective. People in Noosa are fucking stupid. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, and that's how we call bombing in 2022 after a pandemic and 2 floods. But in the car ride on the way home it got quite deep.
It did. I did like to ask you about yourself, mate, because all you do is send me health updates. I want to know a bit more. How you going emotionally?
Well, yeah, and I'd never talk to you personally about that.
Yeah.
So John Peacock, a comedian who you've seen before. He's been on the show. He was actually in the front seat looking at me, going, "Stop answering questions." John
hates the deep chats, and the fact that you had to pull over 7 times for chips. Because you're a pre-diabetic, which chips is probably the way you became a pre-diabetic.
Pre-diabetic is the new cool.
Okay.
I think it will end up being the new mental health pre-diabetic, and that's the way of being fat and cool.
Okay.
So I'm not actually diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic. And that's why I'm not eating the fucking burgers.
What is pre-diabetic? So it's when you're leading up to having a stroke?
Pre-diabetic is when you're fat. And you don't eat enough, and I get a little bit woozy, as you know.
Right.
I get a little. So with my anxiety and stuff, I get a little bit anxious, and I get a little bit dizzy. I get a little bit, and they said, well, if you don't eat, that is basically what's going to happen to you. You'll just fucking pass out.
So why'd you pick chips over lettuce?
So I have chips, no salt.
Okay.
So I need something to fill my stomach.
Okay.
But I don't like salt.
Yeah.
Salt's evil.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mate, I'm about to fall off the stool. You're coming at me.
Yeah, you're very close. I want everyone on the couch, but because that couch has been used for other things in other years and other things I do, other films I do, mate, that you haven't seen yet, which will probably be on.
We've all seen Free Willy, mate. All right, that's enough fat jokes. I'm only allowed 10 and I've hit my quota.
Yeah,
so
you can't do it. I've got a lot of fans that like me and they don't think, and I don't want people to know I'm fat.
Okay.
So this is the first time a lot of people are going to go, that guy's fat. And it's ironic that fat guy's making a burger for mental health.
That's true.
So we are here for mental health. We both sort of suffer from anxieties. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
Yeah.
But so you're based in Byron Bay.
I'm based in Tintinbar, which is 20 minutes from Byron.
So that's the poor version. That's like Bray Park.
No, it's not. It's countryside. No, it's not.
It's the rolling hills. And you live in a caravan?
I live out of the trendy area because I'm like above that, left of centre.
Well, you are trendy.
I try to be.
You wanted to wear a suit today because you're from Melbourne.
Yeah.
You're an Italian immigrant from Melbourne?
Yeah.
From an immigrant family?
No, I think I was born in Frankston.
Right. Is that where the mint is?
No, it's where the heroin is.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's unreal. So, okay, so you're Italian heritage. Your last name's Mamone.
Italian heritage, yeah. A wog, as you would say.
I wouldn't. That's not how I roll.
I should wear a suit, and he goes, "Fucking wogs." I was like,
I actually said, this isn't one of them wog barbecues where you got to wear a suit, mate.
I'm looking for olives and all the other shit, mate. Where is it?
There's no olives here. This is a traditional. So I'm making you today It's called a double animal style, but it's Buster's version because I don't know about the copyright rules.
Right.
I've got a guy who I absolutely follow on YouTube. I think he's a great bloke, and I don't even know if I can mention his name. Someone needs to nod. Am I allowed to mention? So Sam, the cooking guy. I hope one day he watches this because he's a god, and he's made the best version of this that I've seen. So I'm going to do a bit of a Buster take on it. It's basically because you were an animal, you're a drinker.
Drinker, drugs, sex, rock and roll.
So you didn't like music.
No.
But you had the drugs. When I first met you, you were no means a druggo. I never got that impression of you. But you liked a good time. Yeah. You were always smashed, and then you go on and do your act. I think the first time I met you was Melbourne Comedy Festival's Raw. Yep. And you don't remember meeting me. No. Because I was the one that come second, and you were like ninth or something.
You're quite forgettable too. So I
got beaten by a very funny comedian.
Don't start bagging Powsy.
Well, I won't bag you, Powsy, but you shouldn't have beat me that day. Yeah. But so I met you that day, and I remember talking to you at the shed. We all go to a shed. It's basically just 15 nut jobs on a Friday night once a month. Go to Ballina. John Peacock and we go and do our own comedy, and we have a bit of a talk, and that's where I sort of got to meet you more. And you actually said to me, I don't even fucking remember doing Raw.
No, I was a proper binge drinker.
And then you went out that night. It was a Monday.
It was a Monday, yep.
And so you got sober, because I know you've been sober now for a while.
I've been sober, yeah. Kind of sober. I've had a couple of drinks here and there, but not like the old days. Don't worry, I forget Buster. I remember him now, so that's good.
Everyone remembers. Yeah. It's a bit harder to forget Buster. But what was the reason that, we'll jump before that, you're in Melbourne, you didn't do comedy in Melbourne.
Yeah.
You came up here and you thought, I'm in Byron. Did you do it to meet people? Did you know anyone up here?
Did comedy?
Yeah. Well, how come you got into it?
Yeah, I always thought it was funny, but comedy and...
You thought you were funny?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. You don't,
probably should have been down another avenue. I think, on a serious note, I think you got... There's things going to track for you. You're writing this...
Right, I wrote a sitcom, like a first series of a sitcom.
Where I play a homosexual truck driver.
Not a homosexual.
Ballet dancer.
No, you're a ballet... You don't ruin the fucking premise now. Okay. You're a homophobic truck driver.
Oh, I'm a homophobic truck driver.
You're playing yourself.
That's going to be really hard for me to play.
Hey?
Well, I'm not homophobic.
You know.
Look at these two blokes. Look at my blokes who are filming. Okay, so you've written a sitcom.
Yep.
You've written a thing. You want to hope to get it on one of the major outlets down the track.
Whoever will take it.
Whoever will take it. Yep. And you had a YouTube show.
I have a YouTube channel still. I haven't done anything for about a year.
No, I think I was the last one.
You were the last. That was it. I quit after that.
I was very good in that, I thought.
You're a natural. Again, you played yourself.
I just played it.
You're a guy who picked up a hitchhiker and got...
Yeah, so...
Fucking no acting involved at all.
So yeah, how was that for talking about mental health?
Yeah,
But yeah, so you've got a YouTube channel going. You can go and see, it's called the Mamone Zone. He's got jump on board. There's a line up to get on there. It's like 60. He's got 64 followers last time I saw it.
The internet might crash if you keep subscribing.
Yeah, just be careful when you jump on there. It takes a while to download because of all the people locking it. But so you got into comedy. How come you got into stand-up comedy? What was your...
I was always the funny guy entertaining my mates, and then I thought I could do it to strangers, and that was the journey that led us both to having anxiety orders and panic attacks and...
Yeah, that's what I suppose. I think that the theme of it is with most people who I've met who are comedians, open micers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've had I've met some people who are very much not funny, but very funny on stage. Yeah. Where I came from the same background. I came from being the jovial fat guy, cracking jokes at parties and doing all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then now I've found that I've been doing comedy for 2.5 years and stuff like that, open for Jim Owen and Akmal and stuff like that.
Why'd you cover your mouth?
No, copyright. No,
shoving
but
chips
now I've found, eating a lot of chips. Now I've found that I'm doing comedy on stage 2-3 nights a week and stuff like that, and getting down the track of doing things. It's changed my personality in private. Yeah. I don't feel the need now to go to a party and be the loud, funny guy, or crack a joke. Or I'm a wise guy. But it's changed me a lot, and I do regret that. Do you feel like that?
Well, mate, I actually told you that about me, so you've stolen. You did, didn't you? I told you on the way back from Noosa.
Oh, you did not.
You did. I said that to you.
Did you really?
I said I used to be the funny guy, and then it took that off me.
Did I agree with you?
No, you just fucking stole it.
Well, that's my life. That's what. But I'm the same.
Yeah, we both had the same.
We are the same. Okay, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, no, it is, and I felt like that. But I was also drinking, and I think I needed to channel that creative center of attention, show off energy. But when you do comedy, you're like, if you go out and you're just trying to make jokes.
So, where was your first gig?
First gig was the
I'm saying this going.
Yeah, get this going. Gluten-free, lactose intolerant. That all sorted?
It's all, I don't know.
No.
Is that thing going? I don't even know. Yeah, here we go. So, okay, so your first gig. Where'd you get into your first gig?
I did the Mandy Nolan comedy course. So the first gig was the big RSL. And I thought I killed. Then I watched the video a couple of months ago. I was like, Jesus Christ, why did I keep going?
And you didn't kill?
I did, but the jokes were like, just, you know when you joke to your mates and, and you have certain styles of jokes, you think's funny to everyone, and you realise it's not.
But Mandy gave you the confidence to get up on stage and give you the platform?
She gave you the tools to write a joke and how it's all structured, and then you go out there and bomb for about a year, and then you find your way to being funny at some point.
I know we joke about you bombing, but I honestly haven't seen you bomb.
No, yeah.
I've always, I find you funny, I like your humour, I like your jokes, and I get in the car with you and you're like, I bombed a bomb, and you didn't bomb in Noosa. They were a fucked crowd. But what they were a good crowd for were me.
Ah, yeah.
My shit went well because I'm a storyteller. I tell stories about real life stuff, real life things that happen in real life. That's where my comedy is. I don't tell jokes, so to speak. I sort of just have a constant hum all the way through little things, and it's basically a story that's happened where you're a joke teller. So you have little 1 minute stories in your 5, 7, 10 minute sets, and you're hilarious. And it pisses me off a little bit that you do. I'm bombed a bomb because you didn't bomb. The crowd, you got to pick your crowd. And like, to be fair, the first crowd we went to were a good crowd, but they were eating. It was early in the evening, and then the second crowd was drunken poms. Yeah, and they laughed.
Not in my head, they didn't.
Oh, they laughed everyone else.
They're all deaf in my head.
But you were funny. I was laughing.
Oh, thank you, mate.
No,
thanks.
it's fine.
That's all that matters. No, but it's like that. Sometimes everyone tells me. Sometimes I get up like, oh shit. But I think it's like if you know that you were on. Like I have this big awareness of it. Like if I'm free and just making jokes without going to the set. Yeah. And I just have this thing. If I'm not doing improv, then I fucking suck.
I know that if I don't laugh, if I don't get a laugh in the first 10, 20 seconds, my head freezes and I get a little bit vertigo-y and I get a little bit dry in the mouth. I'm like, I'm losing them. Fuck, I'm losing them. So I did that thing. I did that thing at the Byron Bay Theatre for Jonathan Atherton, a friend of ours who passed away. We did a fundraiser for his wife, and it was Jim Owen and Akmal and stuff like that. So I was starstruck backstage, come on stage, and for the first minute wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there. Yeah. And I've got my own coping mechanism. So what's your chips with no salt? What's your coping mechanism for that?
Panic attack, a nervous breakdown, try and leave the building, change my number, block everyone.
So seriously, how do you deal?
The only thing you can do is just get on the fucking stage, because once they call your name, it all kicks in, hopefully.
Because you're very anxious, and it surprises me backstage just how nervous you get.
Yeah, it depends on the gig. It's just you want to be good, so I guess you try and make sure you. I also have OCD because of comedy, so if I don't have all the little things right, then I'm like, fuck, it's going to be shit. But I'm trying to work through.
So you were same socks, same undies, sort of.
I wear your undies actually on stage.
I don't wear undies.
And I use it as a hammock when I get home. Okay, 11 fat jokes. We said that before. That's the fucking quota. How's that?
Oh no, I'm about to see if I can see your face into this thing. But anyway, you're triggering me. No,
triggering you. Eat 2 patties to cope.
So salt.
Yeah.
Thanks, good. Mate. You're getting salt. Okay, so that's your cope. So how do you cope? I'm being dead serious.
No, the only thing you can do is know your set, prepare your best you can, and then surrender to the unknown when you step on the stage. And that's as long as they call your name, it kind of all's there. You put on the smile, you're like, hi, everyone, how's your night going? I'm fine.
And you've just got to do that.
You've just got to do it.
Okay, so how do you deal in real life? Are you, because you are a bit anxious-y person.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot about myself from you today. I thought I was okay.
I think mate, truly, I think you're...
It's an intervention or a show?
Truly, you're a really good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I think you're a great bloke, and I'm not at all picking on you.
No.
I'm just saying, but how do you deal, because I know in social situations I think I've got worse since I've done comedy. Yeah. In social settings. Yeah. So how do you deal, like, if you got to go to a shopping centre and buy your groceries or stuff like that, how do you deal with that?
I'm pretty good when I go to the shopping centre and that, because it's not the pressure of performing. So
okay, so that's okay. So you're all right with that social aspect. If you've got to go to the pub for dinner,
fine.
You're okay.
Yeah, it's only you love something so much you want it to be perfect, and I have that perfectionist OCD shit going on.
Yeah.
So if it's just the anxiety around that, but I can eat a meal and I can go to the supermarket.
Right, so you're all right with that.
Yeah.
So people are different.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
Yeah. Okay.
No one knows. My close circle knows that I'm no good with that. But like, just coming to do things like this, like I've done this a while now.
Yeah.
I've done a few of these. I still get really anxious.
Yeah. Okay.
And just trying to get you through the door there and stuff like that, I overthink. And I've always got this, which is it's just a bottle of, and that thing really broke my fucking foot. That's just a bottle of peppermint.
It looks like amyl.
Yeah. Well, I've always got a bit of. You have a sniff of it. It's just,
no, so I'm worried I'll pass out and wake up pregnant.
So before I go on stage, yeah, you know, I don't know if you picked up on it, but I've always got that in my hand. I'm always sniffing it, and it calms me down and it gets me.
What is it?
It's just peppermint oil.
Okay.
It's just a bit of a relaxation.
Yeah. He fell asleep before the gig the other night in Noosa.
Well, let's be fair, and I might be able to put this up. I fell asleep when you were on.
Fuck, I walked into that. Shit. I thought you passed out walking to the stage.
Oh, fuck. Here you go. Look at that. There you go. That's, fuck.
Oh, my God. What the hell?
Yeah, no, that'll be right. Do you want another one of them?
This isn't a quality burger.
Fuck's sake. You're going to fuck me up here.
Well, this is going well.
Keep rolling,
I'm really
Paul.
glad you invited
No, keep
me
that
on.
rolling. Keep talking, Paul. Tell them about yourself. You just, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, keep going.
I came here to learn about myself. So far, Buster said I bombed. I'm anxious. What else did you say, mate?
Oh, you got your back waxed because you're a hairy Italian.
I got it lasered, actually.
Yeah. Oh, you got it lasered. Yeah. Are we still rolling? Keep that rolling. I don't give a fuck. Like, he just fucked me up there.
I lost 5 kilos when I waxed my back.
You did. You did. He rang me yesterday and he said, I just got my back waxed. And I went, what's that for? And he said, well, he had all these bite marks in it and stuff.
I got it lasered, mate, because I didn't want to keep getting it waxed. So, yeah, I had the... you want to go into it? Fuck, let's just go.
Get into it. I don't give a fuck.
Because I'm Italian, I get the bat wings, but they're gone now. Nice and lasered. And I have the recovery cream for you to rub into my back on fucking camera.
I offered to do that.
Okay.
Don't pretend that I didn't fucking say that I would. Look, that's already ready. Just don't touch it.
All right.
It's fucking hot. So, okay, so...
Yeah.
Can we mention the NDIS?
Because
we can't cut it out.
I work in the NDIS. Yeah,
you work for the NDIS?
I work for an agency for the NDIS, National Disability Insurance Scheme.
Okay, with the floods that we've all gone through on the North Coast in the last sort of...
Yep.
The Jono and Mel that own the cafe here,
yep.
Their house got decimated 2017 and again.
Yeah.
Right. The cafe, I don't think it quite came in, but so we're all just off the back of the floods.
Yeah.
So how has that affected your that just fucking burnt me. How has that affected your work-wise, and how do you... So you're taking on board a lot of people's shit.
Yeah.
So then you've got your own shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're a human.
Yeah.
And you've got your own stuff going on, like you're unmarried and you live in a shack at Tinninbar or something, and so you're already a bit downtrodden.
Fuck, I'm about to cry about you telling me how my life's going. How's the girl with the audio? Is that going to fuck it? It's all right.
So
I'm hoping it goes over his fucking assessment of my life. So you live in a shed, you cry yourself to sleep, your mum doesn't love you, and you might be gay. How are you?
And you wax your back.
This is the best fucking thing I did on a Sunday morning. I love comedy.
So, I just hope the fuck... I'm doing a Paul Mamone laugh all of a sudden for some reason too,
And you're like gorillas in the mess with the fucking smoke. I don't know what's going on
this
here.
is what the concept is.
This show's shambles, mate. Subscribe to my channel. Fuck this one off.
Oh, yeah. Just all you 64 viewers out there that watch... Yeah, okay, let's get a bit serious. How do you deal with everybody else's misfortune? Because I couldn't do it. Right. Someone said to me one day, because I'm a pretty good listener,
yeah.
I do attract other people with mental health issues.
Yeah.
I do attract other people with the same issues as me, and I find it very hard to deal with. This is a fucking man's burger you're getting.
It looks like a big turd.
And I know you're a Metro.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Metro, am I?
You're not a straight edge.
Another thing to add on the list. So how do
you cope with it?
You know what?
I couldn't do it.
I feel depressed from small talk when you're talking about the weather and shit I don't care about.
Yep.
If someone's like honest and open and I'm helping them in a healing aspect, it actually turns me on, not sexually.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So I guess it's more aligned with truth and what I want to, connect with people and help them. So it's actually stimulant rather than something that takes away from my mental health.
Okay, so yeah. So do you go to a counsellor?
Yeah, I have a counsellor in Melbourne.
Okay, you do phone stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and do you talk about work?
Talk about everything. No, to be honest, I don't really take the work stuff home.
It doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't. It's more like I get more anxious doing comedy and trying to get my other shit together. Apparently going to the supermarket, according to you. That gives me more stress, I guess, and like trying to get that right in my mental health than anything at work. I don't even take my work.
You don't take your work home?
No, not at all.
Okay, so you don't. Yeah. Okay, see, this is why I want to talk to you because I've always wanted to ask a psychiatrist or a counsellor, how do you take on board everyone's stuff? Because I take on board just mate stuff.
Yep.
And then I'll find myself laying in bed at night thinking about Paul and Mamone. but like when I got out of the car the other night, I got out of the car and I drove home to Moolumbar and thought, fuck, you're very down on yourself. And I thought, wonder if this is from the stuff you pick up from work. Like it's perfectionist mentality. Everything has to be perfect or else it's shit. Like that burger, I'm already seeing 5 things wrong with it. So you want to come and get a photo of that?
Nah, it's good. It looks good.
Mate, that thing's going to fucking explode.
Looks good.
Where are you from? What's Paul Mamone's story as a kid, or your mum and dad and stuff like that? Like, there's a reason we all got into comedy and we do all that sort of stuff. So what's basically your? I know you're looking at that, you big buddy.
Yeah, hang on.
That is a double animal style, curb buster style. So
that's going to give me a stroke at the first bite. That's going to be good.
Possibly. Have a bite of it, mate. I'm dying to know what you think about it.
You can't ask me about my deepest, darkest family secrets.
I can. Once you start eating, because it's a truth burger.
No, my mum loves me. I'm a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
It puts its lotion on the skin.
You just fucked the whole thing. But that's all right. So, yeah. So tell me about Paul Mamone.
So, obviously being a mental health show, I will share, when I was 6, my father killed himself. Did you know that? You don't look at the way you look. You win.
No, I didn't know that. That just
Yeah. So he took his life when I was 6, and so
I can't even look at you.
Why?
I'll probably cry. I'm hopeless.
You're right, mate. It's my life.
Oh, you all right? You're consoling. You're consoling me.
He's he stole that story before. He's trying to steal my backstory.
I'm just trying not to. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. No.
Yeah, so fuck you for not telling me that earlier.
Thanks for asking.
But that's okay. So your father. Okay. And how? Go for it.
So when I was 6, he took his own life based on some stuff that happened to him from the Catholic Church when he was a young boy in Italy. So Australian, you're okay.
So Dad was a immigrant.
Yeah, he was from Italy.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Is it immigrant a word? But your father was born into Italy. Had the accent, the whole deal.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't. Obviously, I was 6, but
you can't remember much of him.
He came over to Australia, met my mum, married, had me. 6 years later, took his own life based on depression. So I guess growing up, I knew. All they told me, because I was 6, I didn't understand what was going on, was that he was so sad that he took his own life. So I think my mantra of growing up was, oh, you're going to be sad, try and be happy, and try and make other people happy. So I guess comedy might come into it from entertaining people, because, if someone gets too sad in the back of my head, then obviously it can go that far.
Yeah, that's blown me away, because I know a lot about you. I didn't know that. And that's we don't know what other people... Like, this show is about having fun. We have a laugh. We put a bit of shit on each other. But it's mainly about people being comfortable to speak. Like, I grew up in a country town. You grew up in Frankston. I don't know if that's country or not. I have no idea. If I can't see Mount Warning, I very rarely go. so it's not a country town. It's a city town. But I know as a bloke in the country, we don't talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're getting better at it. I do talk. We had incident, some stuff in my life that I had to talk about.
Yeah.
And so you haven't bottled that up from 6. You've always spoke about it.
Yeah, well, I had a child counsellor, and it's just something like, I think when something happens to you at the age of 6, it becomes just fact. Like, think about something happened to you when you're a kid that's part of your makeup. Like, I don't really dwell on it, to be honest.
You've had a long. How old are you?
35.
Okay, so
and living in a shack in Tintinbar like a loser.
So you've had 29 years.
Dying on. I've got 80 cats, so it's.
You've had 29 years to sort of process the death of your father and the reason behind that.
Yeah.
And it was basically, by the sounds of it, depression and anxiety from a history of that. And has your mum talked about what he was like in his personal life? Was he a flat sort of bloke, or was he bubbly like? Because was he like you?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't really asked too many questions. I think it's hard for her to talk about it. Obviously, she's got stuff that she's processing.
Yeah. So, what would your message be out there to a person? Obviously, you can't go back in time and think about what your father was going through and stuff like that. But you're in the NDIS and you're dealing with people that maybe like that.
And counselling, yeah. Obviously talk to people, talk to your mates, but I think the key to life is getting the best out of yourself, reaching your potential in whatever that is. So if you think you're funny, try and be a stand-up comedian. It's like physically, mentally, spiritually, if you're pushing to get the best out of yourself, then you have a focus and you're not worried about all the shit that's sort of out of your control. That we sometimes fall into that habit.
We do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But this is what this show's about. This is what I wanted this show to be about, is take your mate, have a burger. You can't tell I don't like burgers. Go and have a burger, go and have a feed. If they're in that situation, I'm pretty much a non-drinker now. I still have a beer every now and then, but I'm not big on drinking anymore, binging and stuff like that. I used to drink a lot. And I struggle with that with my mates now, like being in this town, like a country town, like I'm not having 10 schooners with them on a Friday night and stuff like that. And I just don't see the point in it anymore. I enjoy a couple of cold beers, having a yarn. I want this to be aware that two mates can get together, have a feed, have a yarn, and you'd never know. And that was a perfect example of what I've known you for 3 years now or whatever. And I've never heard you talk about your dad. You spoke about your mum briefly the other night driving home, and you've got other brothers and stuff like that. But I never knew that about you. And you don't display any sort of, you're not a depressing sort of person. So it sort of blew me away.
Yeah.
So it sort of shows you exactly that you don't know what the fuck is going through people's heads.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, it's not about dwelling on the past. You can't change that. It's about how you get the best going forward. But I'm glad you asked finally.
Well, mate,
I've been waiting for 3 years for you to ask about the fucking backstory.
I didn't know how to, in my head I always wanted to know about, I always thought about, I've got another mate now who I might talk to because I've never heard you speak about your dad. And I thought there might have been a divorce or something. I didn't think it would have been where we went. And it's a pure example of this show and what it's all about. Just have a laugh, have a joke, have a feed, and just ask your mate if he's okay. And that's basically where we're going. We've got ladies that come on this show too. It's just not about blokes. We've got women that we've interviewed and stuff like that who are comedians, and they've got some stories, and it's everyone. So, mate, have a bite of your fucking burger because
Jesus
I'm dying.
Christ,
It's going to be messy. It's going to be the best thing you've ever had. Lean over.
Here comes the pre-diabetes, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
This is what I'm hanging for. Give me an honest opinion of that burger.
Fucking fantastic, mate. Very beautiful.
Is it all right?
My mental health.
Have a big greasy burger for mental health. But that was all right.
Beautiful.
It looks bloody sensational, doesn't it? So that's the double. Here you go. That's the double animal
Jesus
style.
Christ, you pig.
I love it. So George Mo's, Sam the Cooking Guy, they got YouTube channels. They cook this thing all the time. Most of my burgers have come from those two blokes. I've got their books and stuff like that. I'm just a fat idiot in Australia who loves cooking burgers and talking to their mates about mental health. I want to thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you for sharing that with me and maybe 67 other YouTube viewers if we'll
go up to 65.
We'll see how far we go.
Yeah.
So mate, so thank you very much.
Thanks,
I really
mate.
appreciate it. Have a safe drive back to your commune in Tintinbar.
I have a house, you fucking idiot.
All right, so I just saw your bullet.
I sleep in the letterbox.
I just saw your little sulky and bull asked to get back to the commune. So, mate, thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for coming and having a talk to Buster and having a burger.
Cheers,
Take
brother.
care. Thank you.
Thank you.